Right, so we should be streaming. Just give me a few moments because I need to send my links and all that here and there. Gonna start with the streaming. I think my fan is. Turn that shit off. There we go. You guys can hear me a lot better now. Right, let me start recording this. There we go. Right, so I should be recording now. Right, there we go. That should be working. Right, sound. Right, so I'm going to turn video nature on. I'm going to also turn my Discord. Get my Discord running. Right, I've posted a video. It should be out in about 34 minutes. Right, because it's coming out at 7:30 UTC plus 2 time, which is 6:30 UTC plus 1 time, which is UK time, right? So it should be out in about 33 minutes now. In fact, yeah. So this is the one that's scheduled. Right. So let me open my Discord up. Turn video ninja on. Ninja. I find this platform very convenient. You know, the video ninja is a very convenient platform, especially when it comes to talking to these other lads and talking to these other people when I'm trying to basically stream and all that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it makes it very straightforward, which is something I like a lot. Can I go ahead and go to my right? There we go. Find the link. Backtesting session. Looking for my links out. Just give me a couple of moments to sort this out. Alright, so that's out. That's my brother. Let me just get the video ninja link out because I've already created the room. Let me just turn on the fan, boy. It's so fucking hot in Spain, I can't lie. It is not helping. The temperature is not helping people. It's not helping. Right, so that is the previous session. Right, copy that link. There we go. So I've sent that to my brother. Join with my audio. Yep, camera. I'm not really trying to get my camera out. See trader market replay. Boom. There we go. So that should be sharing my screen now. Kick. You know what? I'll just post my kick link on my YouTube fucking section. Right, go copy that. I'm gonna paste that into my YouTube. Come on, work. I need to buy a new laptop, but I'm gonna do that once I settle down, isn't it? For cake. There we go. I've sorted out. Let me see if my brother's joined or anything. Right. So we'll be talking English because usually I don't speak English with my brother, isn't it? So yeah. So I was not really thinking about that, but do you know what? I'm gonna speak in English because I know there's certain people who are gonna be watching me and they don't really speak English now, is it? Right. So let me just wait for my brother to join. Let me see. Got too many links open, man. Way too many links open. Okay. Discord, I can fucking close it now. Content. So these are a few other. I've already worked on one of these, which is the one I'm going to be posting in about 28 minutes. I've already basically posted it, but it's scheduled for 6:30 UTC plus one time, which is the UK. And these are the other ones which I'm going to be focusing on afterwards. Right, so just waiting for my brother to join. Go ahead and fucking. Just waiting for my brother to join. I'm waiting for my brother to join. Really don't think about anything. Just waiting for my brother. Alright, here he is. He's finally joined. Okay. Right. Hello? Was that you? Right. Right, so that's my brother. He's going to be joining with his stuff. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why he's not talking. Right, just going to wait for a few more minutes. This platform is called C Trader, by the way. C trader, you select your capital that you want to trade with when you do in a market replay, which is just back testing. And yeah, I mean, this is your lot sizes. Lot sizes is basically like um, leverage driven tool, right? It's not really leverage, but it's the position size that you open up based on your account size, right? Now, this can vary depending on the leverage that you have available on your account, right? Because on a $100,000 account, you can open up one lot, right? That's one lot for a $100,000 account. Like that's a general lot size that you're allowed to use for certain accounts. हेलो आवाज आ रही है?
यस हेलो।
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ
ठीक है। अच्छा, मैं क्योंकि थोड़े से और लोग देख रहे हैं और वो इंग्लिश में नहीं है, मतलब इंग्लिश ही सिर्फ समझेंगे, मतलब वो उर्दू नहीं समझेंगे, इसलिए मैं इंग्लिश में बात करूँगा, ठीक है? लेकिन समझ आ रही है सारा कुछ, मतलब ये नज़र आ रहा है?
हाँ ऑफ कोर्स भाई यस।
ठीक है। Right, so this is C Trader, right? So once you open up C Trader, you're going to see a section which is on the right side, a toolbox that's going to basically direct you towards the market replay section, which is going to be on the bottom. Okay? Right, so first and foremost, right, like I've already told in my YouTube video, which is going to be out in about 23 minutes, we focus on the 30-minute time frame. The ones we're going to be considering are 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, and the daily candles, right? So these are the only time frames, 5 time frames we're going to be considering, right? 4, never mind. But yeah, so these are the ones we're going to be considering. We're going to stick to 4 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, and 15-minute. Daily is, it really depends, right? लेकिन जब हम करेंगे start करेंगे अपना analysis, we're going to start off with the daily candle, right? Daily time frame, just to get our bias, right? So we look at the previous day's candle. Now we can see the previous candle sort of rejected from the bottom, right? This means there could be potentially buy side volume, right? Then we go to the 4 hour time frame. So यहाँ पर मैं ज़रा पेज ज़रा स्लो रखूँ कि समझना easy हो या फिर ठीक है?
Easy है भाई easy है।
Okay. So now since we're on the 4 hour time frame, now we're going to draw our levels out, right? Which is these levels. Just going to draw these out real quick, right? So this is our resistance, this is our support, right? Then we go on to the 1 hour time frame, right? And let's see what levels we have here. So now I can adjust the support to this level, right? Because this is a range as well, and this is our resistance. Then we move on to the 30-minute time frame, which is this is the perfect time frame if you want to trade, you know. So we move this right here. This stays here because we don't have any. Well, you can sort of move this here now. It really depends. But yeah, so these are the levels we have. Now 15-minute, if you have volume in the markets, you could potentially move to the 15-minute time frame, right? It really depends. But yeah, so these are the levels we have right now, right? So this, by the way, is 25 minutes before the London Open, right? 25, because the London Open opens up at around 8 a.m. UTC plus 1 time, which is UK time. So it opens up. Zan apna mic mute kar dena jab bol rahe ho. So it opens up at 8 a.m. UK time, right? And it closes. Zan apna mic mute rako jab bologe nahi na. Okay. Right. So UTC plus 1 time, New York session opens up at 1 p.m. The New York Stock Exchange opens at 2:30 p.m. UTC plus 1 time, which is UK time, right? So now we're looking at this range, sort of a range, right? We could potentially look at this range filling out, right? Certain volume kicking in, right? It really depends on price action, but let's just focus on this, right? Yeah, this could have been a buy, but yeah, we're just gonna wait it out because I'm not really trusting the volume at the moment, right? This could be sells, by the way, right? Let's just take a small position for sells. I'm not trusting this. Now, the reason why is because this is London session. I don't usually trade London session, right? But let's just look at 15-minute time frame real quick. So it is looking sort of bearish. Right, so let's look at our buyers for the day, which is sort of bearish, but it really depends. Right, so let's see how this candle opens up, right? So opens up, wick down, broke the low. Right, so it comes right back up. Okay, we're not going to trade unless it comes down and breaks its own low, right? So we're not going to be in a trade until that happens, and I don't think that's going to happen. Nope. Nope. By the way, this is a trade. This is sort of a trade because let me explain what happens. So we have the support here. Zanawazari, by the way.
Yeah.
Take it. So we're looking at the support. We're looking at this resistance, right? This means that since we have a support formed, the candles are increasingly bullish, right? This is a small bullish candle, and this is a bigger one, and this is a bigger one, and this one is wick down. It's breaking above its own high. This could be buy, a buy position, right? So we can only risk around 1%, which is $100, right? So let's say around 96, and our take profit can be anywhere around. Oh, it's not working. Okay, so once it comes here, I'm gonna take my profits out, right? So let's see what happens. So you're gonna be nice and slow with it. No need to worry about it too much, because the only reason I'm trading right now is because this is pre-London volume. So I'm sure it's gonna come at least here, right? Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let me look at a 30-minute time frame real quick. Right, so that's a 30-minute one. Right, so I think it could come around here, but let me just reduce my stop loss, in fact. So let's see what happens. Yeah, so that's both. Right, so quick profits off of that. Right, so we just move on ahead. No volume, low volume, not really doing anything at this point, right? So we're just gonna adjust these zones, right? Our support is this, not this anymore, because this candle has closed above this zone. So now our support is this, right? And this is our resistance, right? Hopefully that makes sense. So now we just wait for some sort of structure to form, right? Moving on. You know what? Let me just go on and enter the New York session, which is now. So this is pre-New York, 30 minutes before New York session, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and go to the 15-minute time frame because the volume is massive, as you can see. So these are the new zones. Remember, you always have to adjust the zones again and again. It has to happen. You know, it's going to keep on changing. These are variable zones, right? It was this, now it's this. It might be this in the future. You know, it really depends. So let's see where this takes us. I'm gonna wait for some sort of closure above or below. Right. So we have around 6 to 7. Oh, well, 7 to 6. I'm not gonna say 6. 7 to 6 minutes for this kind of closing, right? And we have this kind of pushing below its own low. Now, let me go to the 30-minute time frame real quick. Could this be sells? Could this be sells? Right? It could be an impulse entry. It could be an impulse entry. Yep. Am I sure? I'm not too sure because it really depends. But let's see. Okay, right. So it is sort of an impulse entry. But let's just wait to see what happens. There we go. This is why I was sort of skeptical of what's happening. Right. So just gonna wait for some sort of structure to form. Right. Nothing. Nothing. Could we enter? No, we could not enter. I don't think so. I'm not. So we're only looking for buys above this zone, sells below the zone, right? If the candle closes above this zone, like above this point, 421282, right? 212. Above this point, if the candle closes, I'm gonna be looking for buys. I'm gonna be looking for buys. I'm not gonna take buys. I'm gonna be looking for buys, right? And if it closes below this point, which is 203.5, 0.67. Oh, fuck off. 0.553, not 6. Right, so if it closes below this point, I'm going to be looking for sells. I'm not going to be taking sells. I'm going to be looking for sells, right? So let's see what happens. And keep in mind, you have to keep on checking the 30-minute time frame and the 15-minute time frame, right? So you have to keep on checking. So what is happening here? Ooh, so this is sort of an impulse entry to the downside. Sort of. It could be. It could be. It could definitely be one. Right? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, right. There we go. It was, yeah. It was sort of an impulse entry. I'll be honest. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame real quick. And yeah, I think it's going to keep on going down, but let's see what happens. Right. All right. So it did go like to this point real quick. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so this is a move that's been totally missed, I'll be honest, right? So 30-minute time frame. This is called an impulse entry. Now, why is this called an impulse entry? We had this resistance here, right? Then this candle came to this point, rejected, closed like this. This is a weak bullish candle. This means this was a bullish candle, a proper bullish candle. This was a slightly less, lower volume when it comes to a bullish candle, right? So this means buy volume is decreasing, which means sell volume is increasing, right? So we start looking for sells at that point. So when this 30-minute candle comes down here, breaks this low, you enter for sells with essentially this position, right? So your stop loss is going to be anywhere around here, preferably around here, but anywhere around here at first, and then your take profit can be anywhere in this range, right? Really depends. But yes, that move's been missed for now, but let's see what happens. Because remember, if you've missed a chance, if you've missed an opportunity, it's totally fine, because there's always going to be opportunities in the market, right? There's always going to be things just happening at all the fucking time, so you don't need to be concerned about any of that. Let's just wait for some sort of structure to form. Damn. Right, okay. So look, this is what I really want you to focus on. This is a support, was a support, right? Now we're not going to be considering this level, because when this move down happened, it almost ignored this zone, right? So now we just adjust the zone to this zone, right? This is our new support, right? So these zones keep on changing at all times. They keep on changing, right? So now we're going to wait for a bullish candle to form on the 30-minute time frame, right? Nope, it's not happening, so we're not entering. That's totally fine. Let's see what happens. Okay, so look, I want you to think about this. This candle has closed on this support, right? And remember, our support was this just a few moments ago. Now it's this. It keeps on changing. It keeps on changing every moment, with every move, essentially. So now this candle has closed on the support. Zanawaz आ रही है? कोई questions? कुछ भी?
हाँ मैंने पूछना ये कि मतलब जो ऊपर है रेजिस्टेंस वो चेंज क्यों नहीं हुआ जब ये बुलिश
नाइस रेजिस्टेंस को हम इधर कर सकते हैं, इधर ला सकते हैं,
तो मतलब क्या कहते हैं कोई फर्क आता है जब चेंज करें रेजिस्टेंस को?
Yeah, let me explain that to you. So say for example, this is our resistance, right? This is a resistance, yes. This is a resistance as well, and this is your resistance as well. But look, you need to decide which level is the best in terms of it giving you enough range to take a trade, and there not being many rejections, right? So would I consider this my resistance? I would prefer not, because we have this rejection, we have this rejection, this rejection, so many rejections. So I would prefer, if instead of closing within this zone, I would prefer the candle close above this zone, right? Does that make sense? The only reason is,
Yes, the
yeah, the only reason is because we have free range to the upside, right? We don't have too many rejections. We don't have too many rejections, right? That's the only reason. So now I want to say something, yeah. 30 minute. Let's look at 30 minute, right? Okay. We've already made our profit of the day, right? But look at this. So we can adjust our resistance to here. This was a support. The previous 15-minute candle has closed below the support, right? Now, if the current 15-minute candle wicks up, breaks its own low, we can enter with risk management, considering that this trade could possibly go towards a loss, right? Which is totally fine, which happens all the time. So you have to consider that as well, right? So let's see where this goes. No, we need it to wick up first. Say, for example, this close happens. You do not take a trade as soon as it happens. You wait for the candle to wick up, break its own low, and then enter. Or if it goes below first, then it comes up, you need this candle to come back to this point, right, which is the previous candle's low. This is where you need the candle to come back at, right? So let's see where this takes us. Let's see what price action. Okay, so it has sort of happened. I don't know if you noticed or not, but it sort of happened that the candle came around here and it sort of picked up and came right back here, right? So we could possibly enter with a very small risk, right, which is not even 100, right? Considering that our account is $10,000, we're going to be risking 0.5 this time, which is going to be roughly 0.13, right? So around 50, right? So let's just see what happens. 52 is totally fine. Let's see what happens, right? If it starts rejecting, it's totally fine. That's totally fine. In fact, it's not even hit the stop loss. I'm going to close the trade, right? So for today, we're in a profit of $100. Wait, I need to see what just happened here. 95. How did it go 95? It was 50. Right, that's totally fine though. So now we're just going to wait for either some structures to form or we just leave the state and move on to the next one. Simple as that. We don't worry about it too much, right? Yep. So no, this is very bad price action. So we don't worry about it. Simple as that, right? We just, yeah. So nothing, literally nothing. Okay, so we just move on to the next day, which is, see if it takes us. So I'm going to move on to 12:30. 12:30 is 30 minutes before the New York session open, right? So then you need to tell me, where is our resistance?
resistance है ये 4132 something 30 something.
Yeah.
Yes,
Very nice. और हमारी सपोर्ट किधर है?
हमारी सपोर्ट है ये 4120.
ये
हाँ,
वेरी नाइस, बिल्कुल ठीक है. ये 15 मिनट टाइम फ्रेम है, ठीक है, और हम 30 मिनट टाइम फ्रेम पे जाएंगे. ठीक है, कोई मसला नहीं. अच्छा, अब एक ज़रूरी चीज़ है, वो ये कि हमने अपना बायस देखना है, ठीक है, हमारा बायस क्या है. हम कौन सी ट्रेड ढूंढ रहे हैं, ठीक है, हम सेल ट्रेड ढूंढ रहे हैं या फिर हम बाय की ट्रेड ढूंढ रहे हैं, ठीक है, ये ज़रूरी चीज़ है काफ़ी, ठीक है. अब तुम्हें इसको देख के क्या लग रहा है?
मुझे लग रहा है ये सेल है क्योंकि बाय की रिजेक्शंस काफी ज्यादा है पीछे.
एग्जैक्टली, ठीक है. तो हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि हमें सेल की ट्रेड मिले, ठीक है. अब ज़रूरी नहीं हमें सेल की ट्रेड मिले. It's not, it doesn't always happen that you have a certain bias that you're looking for a sell position, but you're not going to get that confirmation, right? It doesn't always happen. But we're going to look for sell positions. If we get confirmations for a buy position, we're going to enter with a buy position. You understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's amazing. So now we're going to wait for this candle. Since we have this resistance, we have this support, right? Let me just take a look if anyone's watching. Right, a few people watching, that's nice. So since we have this 15-minute candle rejecting this resistance, right, I could wait for the next candle to open up, wake up, break its own low, and enter for sells. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see where this takes us. This could be a nice entry, or it just could be a rejection, right? Worst case scenario, we lose this trade, we take one more position for the day, and that's it, right? Done. Right, we're not going to trade, no chance. Okay, this could have been our cue to enter, right? But let's just anticipate. Instead of trading, let's just anticipate, right? Just gonna adjust my zones, my lot sizes. What? So I'm hoping it comes like around here, right? Yeah, so it does. So this was a very nice trade, right? But it's totally fine. The thing about C Trader is the interface is not very easy to work with sometimes, you know. So we're just gonna wait for some sort of structure to form. Also, what I want you to know is we do not take in-range trades unless we have a nice pip value to that range, right? So let me explain that. Was that reason?
Uh-huh.
Right. So say for example, this range is around. You see pips. That is 1068. That means 100 and almost 7. 107 pips. Right. That's what it means. 107 pips. Right. You divide this by 10. The pips, because on gold is slightly different than other currencies, right? So if a range is more than 45 50 pips, I would say it's fine to take a trade, right? Because if I'm trading, I'm looking for at least 35 30 pips, right? So say for example, if you took this trade, our stop loss would be here, which is 25 pips, right? And our take profit would be around here, which is around 50 pips, right? 50 60 pips, right? So this is good risk to reward ratio, right? But we're going to wait for some sort of confirmation to form, some sort of structure to form, and only then are we going to enter. Okay, so let me just play this. Let me just skip this for now. Right, so the 15-minute candle has closed bullish, I think. Yep, so it's closed bullish. Right, so could we take a buy, Zan? Could we take a buy here? Could we possibly take a buy?
Yes.
Now, what is our bias for the day?
Sell.
So would we take our buy despite having a bias? I would not.
But if a trade forms, I think you can, but
You can. You certainly can, and you might be right. Once you have a bias, you do not change the trades, right? I'm only going to be looking for sells. I'm not going to be looking for buys, even if I get a nice opportunity, right? Even if this is a nice opportunity, I'm not going to be looking for buys, right? Because my bias is bearish. My bias is sells,
I see.
right? And you can almost see why we have a bias. You see that rejection? That's the reason, right? So let me go to the 30-minute time frame. Right, let's see how this candle opens up. No, I'm not going to be taking those sells, not at the moment. Okay, so in cases like these, look, Sen, this candle has closed below the support, right?
Yes.
Now, could we take a sell right now?
Uh, shouldn't we wait for it to break its low?
Now, what I would wait for is basically being fine with my stop loss, right? That's the number one confirmation you're looking for, which is my stop loss reasonable, right? So if I enter, say for example, if I enter for sells here at this point, my stop loss is going to be all the way here. Is that reasonable then?
That is not.
Yeah, it's not reasonable now. So we're going to wait for some sort of structure to form, or this candle comes down, breaks this low with volume, we enter. But no, we're going to wait for some sort of structure to form. Okay, look at that. So that is a rejection, right? That is a rejection, a major rejection. That is. So now this is impulse entries. potentially, right? I just want to take a look at the 30-minute time frame real quick, if that's fine. Right, so this 30-minute candle, Zan, has closed below this support, has it not?
It has.
Right. So since it's closed below the support, what we're going to wait for is this 30-minute candle to wake up, break its own low, and we could possibly enter with impulse entries. So let's see what happens. Right? Wake up first. There we go. That's the wake up we want. Once it breaks its own low, only then we're going to enter. We're not going to enter if you have any other entry. This could be a nice entry, but I'm not going to be risking it, because what matters the most to us is our capital, right? That's what matters the most to us. Okay, this is perfect, right? Perfect. It could be a loss, yeah, 100%. So I'm not going to be risking too much. But once this this price comes here, right here, I'm going to enter with my stop loss around here. You understand?
Say that again.
So once this 30-minute candle comes here, breaks its own low, I'm going to enter with my stop loss around here, right? And
Right.
remember, this could be a loss, could potentially 100% could be a loss, right? So we need to make sure our risk management is on point, right? I'm going to slow the speed down because we could possibly miss it, right? So let's see. Okay, there we go. So that is our entry. I'm going to go ahead and put in 25. Like I said, I'm going to be risking around 2% this time, okay? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal, Just going to wait for some sort of structure to form and see where this takes us. Let me just increase the speed though, because it's totally fine. If it starts rejecting, totally fine. I'm telling you. Hey, it is what it is. Go to the 15-minute time run real quick if that's fine. There we go. Right. So let's see how this kind of closes. So then, sometimes, right, we give our trades a second chance. Now, we can see that this candle, the previous one was sort of bullish. This one has broken below and closed below this support again, right? Now, what I would like to do is give my trade another chance, and that's going to be it for the day, right? That's going to be the most trades I'm going to be taking for the day, right? Now, I don't want you to be scared of this because, when we took this trade and then we set this stop loss, this was supposed to be 50, but for some reason it got slipped because of C traders slippage, right? But this should actually be around 10,000 something, okay? So don't worry about the losses or anything like that. So let's just wait for the 30-minute candle. We see the 30-minute candle real quick. Perfect impulse entry to the downside. Just gonna wait for this candle to possibly wake up, or what we could do is, right, let me see if we have enough room here, right, because could be risking around 75, right? So this is called dynamic risk, right, where you enter with half the lot size first, you wait for it to wake up and maybe enter again when it comes back down. Okay, so let's see what happens. Right, it just fucking shot through the target. Shot through the target way. I should have entered a bit more, but it's fine. See what happens in it. Right, so I'm not going to be risking too much like this. Let me just place this right here. No point risking too much. Okay, it is what it is, like I said. Yep, nothing. Okay, that's fine. So we move on to the next day. This could have been profits taken 100% because this was around 35 pips, right? But this is just anticipation, right? So let's move on to the next session. Let's go on to fucking New York session, right? So can you tell me what time is New York session UTC plus one time?
It's 1, I think.
It's 12:30. I mean, it is one. Yeah, you're correct. But we're gonna start trading from 12:30 onwards, right? Because 30 minutes before the session you have a lot of volume, right? Decent volume, that is.
I see.
So there we go. That's 12:30. I'm gonna go to the 30-minute time frame. Right. So what do we have here? We have these rejections. Nothing. Nothing. So we wait for structure to form, right? When we have nothing, we wait for some sort of structure to form, right? A candle either closing below this, and only then we enter, right? Let me look at the 30-minute. So let's see how this opens up, where this takes us essentially, right? And right, could this be impulse entries? Let me just take a look at the back. Could this be impulse entries? Right. Let's take a small lot size sell side position. Considering we have volume, right? It's totally fine, like I said. Because the thing is, we have not lost all this money. This is because of the slippage we've had on C Trader. Okay, so we don't need to worry about the stop loss and any of that bullshit. Basically, just go to the 15-minute time real quick. Could we potentially wait for closed? Right, mix up. Um, this could go here. Could be. Wait, let me see how this moves. Okay, go up, go up, come back down. There we go. Enter again. Let's see how much we're risking here. Okay, so this is, I was risking 130. I was risking around this. That's fine. I don't mind that too much. That's fine. So how much are we? Oh, let me look at positions. Right, so this is 38 pips, 60. Right, I'm gonna wait for. Oh, sheesh. Oh, what is this, bro? The fuck? Okay, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Right, it is what it is.
Okay.
Um, so I mean, let's see how this closes and all that. Whoa. I'll take that. Right. So that was a lot of profits. Oh, keeps on going down. Oh, comes right back up. Good thing we closed in it. Right. So big dopes. I think I remember this happening live. Uh, so we go on to New York session the next day. Okay. Let me tell you something, Sam. When the Asian session keeps on ranging and when the London session keeps on ranging, this means usually under normal circumstances you're going to have a lot of volume during New York session, right? And say for example, if you have a lot of volume during Asian session and a lot of volume during London session, the New York session is going to be shit, right? Being straightforward. So what do you think is happening during the Asian session and the London session?
I think they don't have a lot of volume.
Exactly. So this means that the New York session is going to be hopefully decent, hopefully not bad, which is what we're hoping. Right, so we're going to wait for, because then I want you to help me with this, right? Where is our support? Where is our resistance?
I think the support is 3977, right?
Yes, approximately, yeah. So if you mean this level, yeah, that's the one.
Yes.
And our resistance is this, right? Yeah.
Yes, right.
Now then, why is the resistance not this? Why not this? Why this?
Because there's a lot more range than that, right?
Exactly. So this range is how many pips? Tell me.
This is, I can see clearly.
45 pips, right?
Right.
Whereas this is 132 pips, right? So almost
Yes.
4 times, almost. So now then, what I'm looking at is either a 30-minute candle closes bullish and we keep on pushing upwards, or a 30-minute candle closes on the support and we keep on pushing down. Okay,
Mhm.
so I'm just going to skip this candle real quick, go to the 15-minute time frame real quick. That's fine. Now then, how has this candle closed? 30-minute candle.
It has closed bullish, I think.
Yep, it's closed bullish. Now, in normal circumstances, right, I would wait for a better close. But if this candle wicks down, breaks its own high, I could enter for buys, right? I could enter for buys with my stop loss below that candle's wick. So let's see how this candle opens up. Going up. It should come down though. It should come down. It should go down though, 100%. And then it should keep on coming back up. Right, okay. It should keep on going. Let me just take a look at the 15-minute time frame real quick. Right, so the 15-minute time frame has shown us that another candle's opened, right? The previous one was bearish, then we had a bullish candle forming. This candle's broken its own low. It's breaking its high essentially, right? And the 30-minute candle, the previous one was bullish, right? We could possibly enter with buys now, right? We could possibly enter with buys, right? But we also need to understand, I think this is Wednesday. We had news Wednesday, right? So I want to enter with smaller lot size because I don't want to risk too much. Because whenever we have news, the spreads increase, right? The spreads increase. So my stop is going to go right below this wick, right? Let's see where this goes. Let's see where this takes us. The previous one is bullish. The one right now is sort of taking liquidity from. Whoa. Dang. Sort of taking liquidity from the downside. Right. I think that's. I don't think I should be holding any longer. You know what? I'm gonna place my stop loss and break even. Right. So do you know what that means, Zan?
I don't.
When you place your stop loss at break even, that means you have nothing to lose from this trade because your stop loss is in positive or zero. Okay, that's what it means.
I see.
Yeah. So
You would
let's
only
just.
lose the profits you would make otherwise, right?
What's that?
I'm saying you would only lose the profits you make otherwise, right?
Yeah. Otherwise, you only lose the profits that you would make. But in this case, since my stop loss is break even, I'm not losing anything apart from the trailing profit, which I don't even consider profit, to be honest. It's not profit unless it's realized, right? And realized means it reflects in your balance. This is realized um, profit, right? Now this means unrealized profit, which means if a trade is still running, it's going to show up here because you haven't closed the trade, which essentially means that the money is not still not yours, right? That's what it means in easy words, right? So let's see how this closes. There you go. Right. So this is news, right? So I would prefer not trading. I'll be honest. I would just prefer not trading. I think I got this trade in yesterday, but never mind. Let me just skip on to the next New York session. Right, we only trade New York session. We don't trade London or anything like that. Even though London is pretty nice. This could be a nice buy position, by the way. Could be a nice buy position. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Whoa, keeps on going up. Imagine. Nice, nice. This is a nice buy as well. This is a very nice buy. Yeah, amazing, 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 amazing. Let me just keep on going forward. This is a very nice buy. Oh, imagine you took a buy here. This would have been around 600 pips. Amazing. Right, so 12:30, right? 12:30. Zan, would I be alright to draw the resistance here? And would I be alright to draw the support here?
Shouldn't you use the lower one because there will be more range?
This one.
Yes.
Now, see, that this one is too far away. It's way too far away. I'm not gonna wait for that. Do you know what I mean? Because if this one closes here, I've got fucking 80, 100, 120 pips. Why should I lose the opportunity to take these and wait for it to close all the way down here? Where if it closes here, that's gonna be totally fine, you know. So I'm just gonna take my chances and I'm gonna stick with that. Okay, simple as that.
Okay.
Just gonna take my chances. Gonna stick with that to see what happens. Right. So let's just stick it in. Remember, if you see bad volume, just don't take a trade. Simple as that. Just don't take a trade. If you see bad volume, just don't even bother. Okay, this is looking like a nice sell. I'll be honest. You know, let's get a 30-minute candle. It is sort of rejecting. Right. Okay. Yeah. If this candle opens up, wicks up, breaks its own low, I could do quick sell entries. If it breaks its own low, that is. Okay. Real quick, right? I'm going to risk a bit more right now because we've made a lot of profit this week. See, this is why you should have. This is why essentially I don't prefer prop firms, right? That's what I mean. Because if this is your live balance, imagine the money you can make, right? Imagine the money you could make. And if this is, fucking prop firm, you can't even trade, bro. Oh, that's enough. Should I? Right, I'll just wait for just a few minutes. Comes right back. Right, I'm taking this break even hit. I'm taking it. I'm not going to be straight up. Amazing risk management. Amazing, just the way it should be. Right. The problem with CTrader is I cannot place my TP. Right. Otherwise, my TP would have been here. Right. So since I entered here, this would have been around 40 pips. Stop loss around 23 pips, which is amazing. Right. But I would have 100% entered live, 100%. But let's see. Okay, so we have it's dropping up here. It's fine. Ooh, the volume is not nice. I'll be honest. The volume is not nice. Could we enter for buys? Let me look at a 30-minute time. Right. I would rather a 30-minute candle closes above this level, right? I would rather that happens. But the 15-minute has closed above this level. So if the next one opens up or wicks down, breaks its own high, I could enter, But then remember, if you see a candle closing like this with no wick on the top, reduce your lot size to half because it has 50% chance to go in your direction. Okay, so if this happens, just lower your lot size. Simple as that.
Okay.
Right, so let's see. Let's just see if the candle breaks down. Boom, that's nice. Ooh, no, I'm not going to be trading that. No, no chance. No chance. It doesn't matter. Even if it goes up, it doesn't matter because that is a risky position. I would prefer this kind of close like this. Whoa, nah, nah, we don't trade that. Okay, let me just enter with this position, right? Let me just enter with this position. Um, can I take it? Yeah, I guess I'm gonna take it. Now, I'm gonna take it because this candle has sort of rejected this position, right? If I was trading live, I would take partials. I would close half of my position and keep the rest running, right? But I'm gonna take this right now. Ooh, comes right back down. That's fine. Right, I think the C trader itself is not working for Friday, right? But I think that's pretty much it. 26. Today is the 28th. 28, 27, 26. 26 was a Friday, isn't it? So right, so that should be the previous week. I mean, yeah. Let me see, 26, 27, 26 around 12. Right, I believe this is that bullish trade that I essentially took, right? Which is yeah. So it's this kind of closing above this zone, right? Entering right here, which is fine. Yeah, I think I traded this live. I'll be honest. Yeah, I remember. Oh, this is the Zen, याद है जो मैंने बाय पोजीशन ली थी और फिर ये बस ऊपर जाता रहा था.
हाँ
This is that
ट्रेड
trade.
कर रहे थे वो.
Yeah, this is that trade. Yeah, this is that trade. That's nice. Yeah, so we have. Oh, it's wiped out our profits. Anyways, we had around 2,000 in profit, which is nice. And yeah, I mean, any questions? Any questions? Then कोई क्वेश्चन कोई चीज समझ ना आई हो कुछ भी.
मैंने ये पूछना है कि न्यूयॉर्क सेशन को क्यों ऊपर बढ़ गया.
हम लंदन सेशन भी ट्रेड कर सकते हैं लेकिन लंदन सेशन की बात है कि the volume itself is not, personally I would say, is not enough to take a trade, right? Because look, this is from around 7:30 to 10:30 is nice volume for London session, right? Which is this. You see this?
Yes.
This is horrendous price action, right? Horrendous. This is not enough to take a trade. This could have been a nice trade. This right? This could have been a nice trade because we had this resistance. This candle closed on this resistance. The next one opened up, wicked down, broke its own high. We enter with a buy position taking around 100 pips, right? Which is very nice. This is very nice.
I see.
But yeah, I mean, it depends. Look, what I would say is there is around 5 sessions, right, that you can trade, which is Asian session, pre-London session, London session, pre-New York session, and New York session, right? So these are 5 sessions that you can trade. There is also the New York Stock Exchange open, which is amazing, right? So you can make that the 6th session, but you have to pick one or two of these sessions and just stick to those. ठीक है, अगर आपने लंदन सेशन ट्रेन करना है तो फिर आप लंदन सेशन ही ट्रेड करेंगे, आप न्यूयॉर्क सेशन नहीं ट्रेड करेंगे, ठीक है। अगर आपने एशियन सेशन ट्रेड करना है तो आप एशियन सेशन ही ट्रेड करेंगे, मतलब stick to one session. Personally, I think New York session is the easiest one for me, so I prefer the New York session.
जिस सेशन में सबसे ज़्यादा मतलब छोटी बिट्स हैं उसमें रिजेक्शन सबसे ज़्यादा
Yeah, it really depends. Sometimes New York session is going to be very bad. You know, sometimes it's going to be very bad. The thing is, it's easy for me. You know, it's later on in the day. I can wake up early. I don't have to wake up early, but I can wake up early, go to the gym, come back, have my breakfast, then trade. You know, instead of waking up first thing in the morning, I trade. You know, I think that's the only good thing about this. And I think for you, maybe the Asian session is going to be nice, but New York session is the best. Asian session is it does not have a lot of volume sometimes, but sometimes it has amazing volume. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it does not have volume. Sometimes it has amazing volume. So it really depends. But yeah, yeah. I mean, where do you go here? New York session get करो. Best session है. Volume अच्छा है. By the way, मेरी video upload हो गया अभी. Yep. Okay, so let me see. Uh, we are uploaded. Yep, upload हो गया. Yeah, so I think that should be the session. Thank you so much for coming. ठीक है, डालो अपना और परचेस करो. Good luck, ठीक है? Okay. Right, so that is the session done. Just gonna go to. Right, so if anyone's watching, thank you.